Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and I'm here today with the Furno Bike from Hero Factory. This was one of two vehicle sets that were released in 2010, and this set was somewhere between $20 to $30 in price point. I can't remember off the top of my head, but if you look in that lovely description right below this video, you can find all the information about the set, and the information is from Brickset.com, as it's always been from Maniac4Bricks. We always go to them for the information to verify, the characteristics of the set. So, let's get right on to it. There is only one exception as far as anything in this video. I have had to replace some of the Zamor spheres that were supposed to be in the set. These are supposed to be in the same red as Furno, but I did not get them included when I bought this off of eBay. So instead, for this video, I just have them in a different color. Just wanted to identify that. But everything else in here is built pretty much as the set is. It actually is a really cool bike build. It's something you actually haven't had from Hero Factory that often. They did have one bike build much later in the Breakout series, but this was the earlier rendition and, in my opinion, looks pretty good. You also have a lot of orange pieces that are good for the color scheme of the vehicle, just to separate it from the other Hero Factory characters. Also fits well with Furno as far as the red and orange color scheme. And it also has an introduction of a bunch of pieces in new recolors. The wing piece is down here. The center body piece that's right there. I mean, in this case, it's used as a center body piece. And we also have the Borak shield that's also in orange. Very nice to get all of those recolored. So, as far as the vehicle itself, it's actually a pretty cool design. It does have a Technic-based build with a bunch of Bionicle elements included for good measure and for good shaping. And it also has, on this side, a kickstand, which is how you can hold it up and hold it steady. It's simply just an axle on a ball joint, so you can just simply move that out of the way if you want to roll this thing around. And it's very easy to move, too. You can also swivel which way the bike moves, because this front area actually has a little bit of friction in there, so you can turn it and even make some cool poses with it, as you saw in the beginning. What I also find interesting is these wheels, which I'm pretty sure this might have been one of the earlier times when they were included in a dark bluish gray color. I have seen them once or twice since then. I remember there being in a Spider-Man copter set many years later, but I'm not really sure how often they are included in sets, especially with the tires. So, very cool to get that there. We also have a play feature with this set. On both sides are Zamor sphere launchers, and you can simply just shoot them. So you can have a scene set up with a bunch of Hero Factory villains, and you're going after them on bike, and you can shoot these to get rid of them. So you just have to squeeze this in the middle, and it'll shoot out at pretty high speed. And it works very well. It's in fact a piece that's been used in Bionicle before in two different types of play functions. They had a different piece that was put in here as a projectile, and the Zamor sphere was from a different type of projectile. But I think this works out a lot better in terms of, shooting ability. And you can also take Furno off of here. He just simply attached onto these handlebars by an axle, and he's also attached on the feet area by some friction pins. The pins might stick to him, but we'll take care of that in just a moment, and we'll compare him in just another moment. The version of Will Furno that's included in this set is down here on the left, while the version that was included in its own separate set, which was about $7 or so, and is set number 7167, is shown on the right in the turntable. As you can tell, this is actually a bit of a downgrade for Furno, because he doesn't have the same color scheme. He actually has more red pieces, which are just nice in general, but for this purpose, it just kind of makes him a bit bland. The armor piece almost looks too bulky for him because he doesn't have any of the bulky armor that's on his feet. And one of the reasons why they changed this is so that he can have the proper footwear so that he can fit onto the bike and won't have to take extra pieces to make it for the newer type of feet shown here. I can understand a bunch of these changes, makes him a little bit more of a unique look of Furno and all that, but I would have preferred if they included some kind of weapon with him, Because, yes, the bike itself can be used as a weapon with those Ambersphere launchers, but it would have been nice if he got off the bike, he could have a separate weapon, maybe the flame swords. Albeit, it does kind of make it so you could buy both of them and get a bit of both worlds. I want to try to test out this version of Furno with maybe those feet on the bike and see how well it works out. I don't think the feet are going to really work out that well, but we'll take a look at just a moment. There's a lot of moments in this video. Okay, we're back, and what I did for this version of Furno is combine the feet from the first one that's included with the set and just everything else from the separately sold 7167. The weapons I put on the back of him like so because they also encourage that on the box itself as another way of playing with the figure and putting the weapons together. So it looks at, that works out fine for that, but let's see if we can fit him onto the bike. And I may have to take the weapons off of him if it doesn't work out. But for right now, I'm actually surprised. The feet, for the most part, can attach onto the bike, same as they did before. It's just that right now I could already see that these armor pieces that center around the feet and ankles and legs are actually bending a bit towards the back. You can kind of see a little bit better about that. They are bending inwards because of the space there is kind of cramped. So if I were to take this off, you kind of see it just, widens out to its natural form. But if I put them in, it can stress the piece a little bit. I don't think it's going to break if I hold it here for a little bit longer, but we'll keep looking around and seeing if we can fit the rest of the figure in place. So if I just fit this on for his hands, then we'll be ready to go. And put his head up. And there we have Furno. So now we have the separately sold version of Furno with the feet from this set. Albeit, these don't really look great next to each other. Maybe we could just take those off. So maybe that's one reason why they took them off for the set purpose, is just that there wouldn't be a real place to hold them. You could theoretically have one hand holding them, but it just looks a little bit better with having both hands here. And, well, you can kind of see why they just went with the all red for Furno. You see, in this version, the yellowish orange that's here kind of clashes with the orange that's on the bike itself, and kind of displeasing to the eye, at least for my eyes looking at it in person. And, well, like I said before, these are in the way of the pieces stressing a little bit, so without making a whole bunch of modifications, it would be kind of hard to use this version of Furno with this bike. I'm sure that you could get over the little stresses here and there, and maybe the color scheme a little bit, but it kind of helps, and I think I can now openly say the previous version that we showed before is actually a lot better to use for this vehicle. But I still recommend getting both versions of Furno in general, just because I do like the original version with the, this varied color scheme, and the armor pieces just look a lot better on him. But there's our look at the Furno bike and Furno himself, and I actually found that interesting to learn about how he fits on there. Oh, I think his friction pins are on the wrong side. I'm just building him off screen. So give me a moment and he'll be back on right now. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you'd like to see more from Bionicle and Hero Factory, you can check them out on a playlist on my channel of construction figures. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this set. Do you like the bike look? Do you think Hero Factory should have had more vehicle-based sets? They've only had a handful of them. I remember, like I said in the beginning, there were two when it first released in 2010. There was a version of it later on, but I don't remember there being a lot of other vehicles. Maybe one for Raka that was a jetpack. They did have a bunch of Titan vehicles, but I'd like to hear what you think about it in the comments below. So we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos.